Okay. Sorry, do I have sound now? The recording software is saying I have sound. Doesn't say I have game sound. Of course, the game isn't making a lot. Are you guys hearing game sounds? Were you hearing my voice and game sounds, or neither? I'm going to store the ship. Oh, I never rebuilt the... What? I never rebuilt Ranger 3? Wait a minute. What happened to Ranger 3? I know I had a Ranger 3. Didn't I? Oh, no. We did not have... Ranger 3 is on my other game. Duh. Okay, that ship is stored. Yeah, I think I don't need a message telling me that. I think, do you have game sounds now? I mean, can you hear this? Here, I'm going to turn the music on upstairs. If I can find it. Where is the jukebox? There is a jukebox somewhere around here. Where is the jukebox? Yeah, I know it can hear me. I'm asking if you can hear the game sounds. Oh, I'll bet you the jukebox is in the employee lounge. Because I know you can hear it in the arrival bay. Because on the public server I play on, there's always somebody has that jukebox going. Yeah, here it is. What do we want? 8-bit rock, classical, jazz, cool rock, or rocket? Ooh, what's rocket? Funky! Okay, cool. You can hear everything. Okay, so we got some funky music. Okay, so obviously I rebuilt Tethys, or maybe I didn't delete Tethys, I just modified it. But we got rid of our small ship. So the question is, what do we want to replace it with? I'm not even sure what I have enough materials for. Let's go look at my TC designs. See, the Sparrow is a smaller ship, and right here, the TC2 Sparrow is a smaller ship and gets better performance. Oh, we don't have enough resources even for the Sparrow. Ooh, how did we end up so short on resources? Did the upgrades to the Dwarven Forge cost that much? Ooh. Well, maybe we won't be running any missions. Maybe we'll just have to go out and do some mining. Well, I guess I get to show you how the mining stuff that I was just showing you and explaining to you, which you couldn't hear. I guess I'll show you how it all works. Yeah, there isn't a whole... I mean, loud. I don't have the audio very loud on this game, so... I'm going to grab some extra fuel. I don't remember how much we had aboard. It always pays to carry... Here's an important safety tip for you. Oh man, we're so low on money. Really needed to run out and do missions. But here's an important tip for you. Always take enough fuel for at least 2 jumps back. I was out when I was out this morning doing resource gathering on the public server game. I created a jump point to come home, and for some reason I'm looking around. Where'd my jump point go? Where'd my jump point go, or a rift, whatever you want to call it? And I'm going, where did it go? Finally, I found it. It's like 200 kilometers away or something. It was way far away, and add to that, it didn't even go back to the right system. Well, yeah, we really didn't have enough fuel, did we? So it actually went to a different system. Oh, bye, Archie. And it was a good thing I spotted that, or I would have ended up in the wrong system too. Which, wouldn't have been, complete loss. Because, I still had to make the jump back home. Unless it was too far away for a single jump back home. That would have been terrible. Okay, so I'll tell you this. Between this, I was talking about when I was talking, you guys couldn't hear me. I was telling you that I have a bigger ship based on this one without the changed nose. It still has the older style nose, bridge, I should say, whatever you want to call. But it's got a bigger factory. But that thing uses over 400 fuel per jump. So this one's a lot cheaper to use, but that one has 2 extractors, which is turning out to be very handy for doing a lot of resource gathering real fast. But I'll take you out and show you how the resource gathering goes with this guy. Let's go someplace with some decent resources. Ooh, running into rocks. Okay. Get moved away from that. So yeah, I was saying the whole reason for redoing the nose for this was it seemed like the best place to put these ammo loaders, so I could use the space we had those ammo loaders for before for the cargo relays. And I don't know why I felt I needed to change side. Oh, I know, because of this door here. That's why I changed which side this is on. It is rather annoying. Oh, yeah, helps to choose a destination. Let's go to Renones. It seems to have good resources. Okay. Off we go. Yeah, I was saying early on, I actually set up a profile with voice actac for Interstellar Rift, and it works really nicely. It takes a little of the hunt and peck where I have to, because of the strange keyboard arrangement for the game, it takes a little bit of that hunt and peck away, so I don't have to take my eyes off the screen to do stuff. But you know how voice actac has been for streaming, so I had to go and turn it off. All right. Yeah, I've had some weird disconnects in the last week or two. I guess the last week. Things like, you know, I'll go to another star system and then not be able to do anything, and so I actually, let's do this. Oh no, we're not going to a system. And so I, log out and log back in and find out that I never jumped. I'm still sitting at the space station at the other end. Okay, I had really good luck at, I think, this distant world. No, that's not it. We came in at a different point. I don't know which one it is. I don't remember what name it is. Oh, there you go. Let's try this one. So yeah, I'm loving voice attack. You can do so much with it. You can even set it to play audio files and things, which I tried to show you guys in the last Euro Truck Driver, but I don't think it ever worked. But I have all sorts of responses set into that, so Growler and Lance will talk back to us. And it doesn't work when I'm streaming. It's so frustrating. Oh. Did you have a good day, Core? Darn it. Gotta remember to just let the gravity do the deceleration until we get near the planet. When we get close enough, the ring will separate out. There it is. It just separated out. Then we can pick the ring instead of the planet. Sputter, sputter, sputter. I'm on. I keep hitting X. All right. Well, that's fine. We came out in the ring. Doesn't matter if we're right at the point where it says. But the computer is not happy today. This is not playing well with the recording software or something. Alright, let's get this set up. You know, I swear I had filters set up. Actually, I wasn't even using this this morning. I wasn't having to. All I had to do was just set everything on automatic and then just go. But we will at least get the sensors online here. And let's set our speed down to about 100. I said about 100. There we go. And see how long it takes for the squirrel to find us. Seems like you can do okay for a while, and then the squirrel figure out where you are, and you will just keep getting attacked over and over again. Okay, so let's see. What do we want to gather? Do we just want to do our normal stuff? Let's just do all of the regular stuff. Zinc, gold, silver, silicon, and nitrogen. Okay, so that's on. And this, we're going to set, oh, come on. Iron, silicon, steel, brass. I don't want you to do hydrogen. Let's do oxygen. Nitrous oxide. Okay, turn that on. Okay, so that's gathering resources for us. Now we'll come up here. So then I see each one of these has 2 heat sinks in it. It burns up those heat sinks as it runs. So actually this is already set to run that. So yeah, let's just turn that on. That should be all set. Actually, I want to check what it's set for here. Then on your destination, you set, you know, how much it can fill up. So this can only fill it, or this can fill the refinery up all the way, and there has to be at least 20 of whatever in the crate in order for it to teleport it. But it's now running. Okay, but we do not want this. So we're making oxygen there. So we'll set this for oxygen, engineering, We'll select all. That'll deselect everything. We go to factory. Now we'll just pick our first 2 cargo pads and let it just transport any oxygen there. Fortunately, it'll only use up the heat sinks when it's actually teleporting. Okay, so let's select silicon here. And we'll go to, again, the extractor. And the destination, again, will be the refinery. So the refinery can do its thing with it. And we're not going to worry about that filling up. We'll turn that on. Definitely more of these would be great. But 4 seems to be what I can efficiently fit on the ship at this time. And let's see, where is our silicon ingots? There they are. And we will select the refinery. And we'll select the next 2 cargo pods. And that should do... Actually, let me look at that again real quick. Just to make sure. 20, 20, yeah, that's fine. Okay, so this is going to pretty much automatically handle all of the water, and then the oxygen, and then the silicon for us. And we will have to handle everything else. If I had more, we could set up more and, you know, handle everything. So zinc we'll take, and we will use this pad right here for zinc. Or zinc. Actually, you know what? We'll use that one for partial boxes. And do we have a ton of deuterium? I can't remember. We'll go ahead and gather deuterium and put it... where'd it go? Oh, it didn't go anywhere. There we go. And then we'll just dump all this. We're going to gather a ton of it, and it's not worth carrying around. We don't really have any use for it right now. We could use it back at the base for building another ship, but we can more efficiently do it there. And that zip you just heard was one of the relays above us. Well, they stick through the floor. I didn't notice that. Okay. But because of the weight and everything and how much it drives up our cost to jump and everything, it makes more sense just to gather our iron there and just dump all the iron we get here. Not to mention the fact that when I went out this morning, I almost filled up the big ship, which has more cargo pads than this ship. And I almost filled it up with brass, silicon. I had I think 2 full pads of silicon. 2 full pads of silicon. That's over 9,000 silicon. Plus I'd gathered like a pad and a half of nitrogen, and I had oxygen, and I've been able to completely refill my fuel tanks, and we're under attack. You can also set those to automatically teleport ammunition from cargo pads into your magazines. Now, I don't carry enough ammunition for that to work, so... Okay. Where is my mouse cursor? Come on, where's my mouse cursor? There we go. Yeah, this is where it'll be really handy, because I have the thing set up to automatically fire missiles. Oh, and by the way, I doubled the number of missiles that this ship carries. That was part of the redesign, too. That's why we have 4 magazines now. Let's carry those extra missiles. Was that it? Was it just him? Okay. Well, hopefully his friends don't find us, too. And they did fix... Ooh, quite a lot of stuff this time. Oh, no, this one. They did fix this, so this stuff stays around for a couple of minutes, so you do have a little bit of time to get the stuff. Yeah, you would have thought it would have lasted longer before they tracked me down, but no. I'm not going to worry too much about the steel. Even though it'd be nice to have, but again, weight. I don't really want to invest the weight in it. But the nitrogen I want, because we need that for making ammunition. Now, I think I've figured out that it's going to be smarter overall to buy standard ammunition for the guns. Oh, that was the new ship I wanted to get, but that one I wanted to. No, I did get that for the multiplayer server. I got one that oh, we can get rid of that. I got one that has fixed guns, and I really want to check those out and see how well they work. This stuff goes upstairs. The Skrill biomatter. Yeah. There we go. And let's see, we got silicon going there. We'll go ahead and put the nitrous oxide right there. Okay. So you can see this is going pretty good. We just need to empty this. Ooh, we got some gold. We got some gold. I did so well this morning. I got just a ton of gold. I'm going to put the gold right there. I mean, I came back with like 80 gold, I think. Which is a lot for gold. And it's working out pretty well. I mean, so far I have not, on either ship, on this or on my other game, I have not once had to replace one of these modules. Now, I think the one on the other game, or one of the ones on the other game, because I now have two, because I have two extractors on that ship, I think one of them's getting pretty badly worn down. But considering I've gathered way more gold and silver than it's going to cost to make another one, it takes 10 gold, 10 silver, and 10 silicon to, I do want to keep the, whatchamacallit. Oops, no. You go here, and we'll put this on the back. There we go. The nice thing about the auto teleporters, or one of the nice things, is it also automatically fills all the crates to max. So it isn't like it places 8 partial containers. No, it'll keep adding into the existing containers until you have 8 full containers on each cargo pad. So, like I said, it really speeds up the resource gathering. An hour of doing this, and we will have this ship packed to the gills. We'll have this morning, like I said, I had over 50 gold, I had over 50 silver, I had like 9,000 silicon, 5,000, 6,000 nitrogen, oxygen, brass. I think brass I also had I can't remember if I had a one whole cargo pad and half a cargo pad, or 2 cargo pads. I think it was 1.5 full cargo pads, which would be what, like 7,000 zinc. And what we need the stuff for, of course, the gold and silver and silicon we need for making the automation cartridges and things like that. Silicon we can also tribute to hurls to get ourselves up to tier 2, which gets us some even more spectacular weapons and some more spectacular enemies. The nitrogen we need for making jump fuel, which I've sort of figured out, like the standard ammunition, it's sort of just going to be easier just to buy the stuff. But the missiles are... I haven't found any place to buy missiles, so I've got to manufacture those myself. So we want the nitrogen so we can make nitrous oxide, and we also need brass, which is what we need the zinc for. And we need nitrous oxide, brass, and iron to make missiles. So that's what we're gathering that stuff up for. And then when we have enough resources for all of that, then we can, you know, arm up a smaller ship and go out and do combat missions and things like that that earn us money. Do combat missions and delivery missions and you know, all that sort of stuff. And we're not getting anything. What's going on here? Oh, we're at a dead stop. Whoops. Oh dear, there's another one. Let's warp to a different place, shall we? Come on. Can we turn so we're on the same plane as that? Well, let's move over to the other side of the planet. Like I said, I don't remember what planet I was at that had such a great asteroid belt around it. I wish I knew which it was. Okay, whoop, we don't want to go that fast. Oh, God, we're stuttering so bad. You know, we had been doing pretty good. There we go. We had been doing pretty good. I don't know why the recording software is behaving so badly today. And this is because we're running the recording software on here and the other. You know, if I get some income coming in, I really would like to get one of those capture boxes so I can do the recording on the capture box and not be grinding down my computer. Then, you know, we can play stuff that isn't, you know, that I can't do now. You know, because I won't be dragging down my computer with the recording software. Okay, so we're moving again. So, yep, now we're gathering stuff again. Okay, we got some nitrogen. We got some more nitrogen. Wow, that's a nice haul of nitrogen. I did not leave my place itself a place for nitrogen, did I? Okay. Nitrogen there. Sheesh. I think that's going to go back there, and the gold will go right here. Alright. Okay. Let's go in there. There we go. I was going to say, why is that not running? Okay, so this is a water asteroid. So the water asteroids are being handled mostly automatically. We just need to get the nitrogen. But all the water is being handled for us. And that will be processed into oxygen for us, and we will change that up at some point. So we're processing that water into something else. But I want at least, I think 1 pallet full of oxygen will be plenty. If we get 1 pallet full of oxygen and 2 pallets of nitrogen, then that should make 1 full pallet of nitrous oxide. Actually, you know what? If we take these and move them up top, that'll free up that one for nitrous oxide. Let's move them to the back of this. There. Yeah, I would like to do a wholly new design. Now this is, I think it's, what's his name? Night Raven or something like that? That's the guy who designed this base ship. I've totally remodeled it. I mean, he didn't have it arranged like this or anything. His engines were completely different. The factory area here I've completely remodeled, and now on this one the bridge is completely remodeled too. So this really on the inside bears no resemblance to his ship. On the outside it still more or less looks like his design. But I do want to do one that's wholly my own design. But I've been working on learning. The exterior is like the hardest part. Because, you know, to make it look like something other than just an ugly box, you really need to get creative. And so I've been slowly learning and building up my skills on doing exterior design. So hopefully I'm getting to the point where I can do a design of my own and have the exterior look nice. Oh, okay. Let's get all this. brass, or actually our zinc, I should say. Zinc. Whoops. Was that our zinc? 7. Zinc. There we go. Take that. That down, and then we've got some silver. So that's enough gold to make 2 new cartridges, enough silver to make 1, so we're in good shape. So we've got 3/4 of the resources we are, more than that. I've got plenty of silicon. But we've got right now of these resources, 3/4 of what we need to replace both of the automation cartridges that we're using to do this. And as you can see, we're nowhere near using up our automation cartridges. Oh, and the speed thing, the reason that I go for the speed that I do is that it's fast enough, just somewhere around 100, like between 50 and 100 somewhere, is fast enough that you move along and you know, find new resources fast enough to have a decent gather rate. But you're not going so fast that you start getting that bleeping warning that you're going to run into something, that you can't run up to the bridge and have a look. Now, of course, that speed is going to vary, you know, based on the ship layout. But I thought the way I did this came out pretty nicely. I was able to use the double wide bridge. Makes it, you know, off center, of course, because, you know, the center of the ship is right here. So actually the left area here next to the bridge is, and I don't think there's a position where we can see it, is where all our guns are. Oh, goodness. Okay. I guess we're back to fighting. Where are you? There we go. Get him! Well, at least we make a little money doing that too. Okay, I'll go ahead and stop. And we will salvage what's left of yonder alien. Doesn't look like we're going to get any great stuff. The only stuff I really want out of this is the nitrous oxide. I mean, it's good to have some of the meat, because then you can make the food packs, but how many food packs do you need? Oh, thank you, Core. Yes, larger bridge. Before it had the single wide bridge, but I prefer this bridge. This is my favorite of all of them. I like the layout, and it works decently on the front of a ship. You can't streamline very well because, well, it's, you know, a big flat dome, basically. But you have plenty of room inside. You're not like going up that little narrow step. And I'm always, when I get up out of the chair on that other bridge, I'm always sort of getting stuck on that stair rail. And then if you go on the other side of it where the second seat is, where the back seat is, well, then you gotta, you know, work your way back around the railing to get down the stairs and off the bridge. This one's just a lot easier to maneuver around, despite the fact we're having to go up a full level of stairs for this. Because that bridge, if you remember, on the outside it's 2 levels high because of this. You can see, or because of the windows. It's too bad those windows aren't open. It's too bad this bridge isn't actually 2 decks, so you could, you know, use that window on the lower half as sort of, you know, decorative. You know, so you could have it open on the front down here and have windows you can look out of. That's a pretty view, isn't it? Pretty planet. Alright, let's go get back to work. Yeah, well, you know, all that ale makes you thirsty, or makes you hungry. So you need both ale and oh, give me the food. There we go. Ale and thing. It's too bad they don't actually have ale in the game. I wonder if they're ever going to add that. The beta is supposed to come out, I think, next week. Or no, this week. This week. So sometime this week, they're supposed to be making the switch from alpha to beta. I shouldn't say come out, because they're not releasing any updates for the game. Or at least not releasing anything major. But it means they're going to be going from... you know, just doing base programming on the game system to adding content and squashing bugs and working on performance. They say they do know, they have figured out why the game performs so badly when you get more players in. So they said it's just a matter of them being smarter in how they're doing things. So I think that's part of why they're reworking the sensors, to be honest. Because well, previously, you could basically, your sensors picked up everything in the system. So I think basically meant your computer had to track everything in the entire star system that you're in. And now you can't. And when the new sensor system comes out, they actually, you know, you will actually have to scan for other ships. Unless somebody is doing like us and running with your transponder on. If you're running with your transponder on, then people can see you everywhere. But if you don't have your transponder on, they won't. So definitely for PvP there. I don't know if it affects the Skrill. Actually, that's a good thought. Let's go turn our transponder off. I don't know if that's attracting the Skrill or not. I don't know if they can pick up radio signals. We don't need our transponder on right now. Stop broadcasting. The Dwarven Forge. People, the Skrill do not need to know where the Dwarven Forge is. What's going on here? What are you doing on my ship? Well, just working, Growler. Just you know, doing some work. Actually, I think we had that set up to teleport automatically, didn't we? I didn't have to do that. Oh well. It's done now. Maybe I should, instead of having stuff getting... no, I would rather do that, I guess. We may change it. We'll see. The idea definitely is to, you know, choose the items that are going to save us the most work to have the teleporter running. Except for the iron, because if we do the iron, we will run through heat sinks like nobody's business. The heat sinks aren't too bad to make. Let's go up and look at that while we're waiting for the next stuff to get... So the heat sinks are made here in the 3D printer. So here they are. There's actually 3 tiers of heat sinks, and then there's an advanced heat sink down here. All we can make now is tier 1, which is just deuterium, which is refined from water, and copper. So they're not expensive to make. And you can see here, I manufactured 8 of them, because we've got 2 in each one of these. And then I manufactured 8 more, so we have 8 in storage. So when these burn out their first heat sink, it's going to run on the first heat sink until that's burned out, then it'll switch to the second one. And when it burns out the first one, we'll just grab one out of storage, stick it in, and bing, boom, bang, we're all set. See, that one's already used up quite a bit, so is that one. But this one, we have not been getting a lot of silicon. We might try a different planet. This one doesn't seem to be netting us a whole lot of stuff. The other one was doing a lot better. Okay, let's go up to the bridge. Let's look at one of the other planets. See, I thought somebody said that you could use this to find where resources are. Asteroids. So we got asteroids visible. I'm thinking it's not actually working right yet. Asteroid, distance. I'll switch orientation, focus, target. Okay, that's not helping. Yeah, I'm thinking in-system. They don't have anything set up to show us in-system details yet. Alright, we're not running into anything. The only bad thing is when one of those giant asteroids, when we run face first into one of those, it really bangs up the ship, and that costs us repair nanobots. Oh, we were going to go to a different planet. Sorry, I got distracted. Got distracted trying to use the sensors to find us a better site. Okay, so what one are we at right now? We are at... you know what? Let's go make some free money here. I hate warping straight into planet. It is absolutely terrifying. I think this is the closest we need to be. Are we actually in the atmosphere? We're close enough for getting the sensors anyways. What is that? Why is that lit up purple? That's very strange. Why is that lit up purple? Alright, where is the... Isn't there a little sensor marker? Or was that it? Did we get it already? So there's the planet marker. I don't know why that planet is lit up purple. That's really strange. Which one is that? That is 4. Let's have a look and see what we got here. I don't think the station list is going to tell us anything. There's just 2 construction satellites. Huh. I don't know. I'm perplexed. Okay. Come on. Give me my flight controls here. Okay. So there's 3. There's 1. And we are currently at 4. Wait. That's 4. That's 4. Oh, 4 and 6. We're currently at 6. Sheesh. Yeah, I know. Alright, let's go to the other planet. Yeah, but it definitely looks like that little sensor mission is gone. I guess they didn't want much. Yeah, you can tell when we exhaust our fuel cells. As long as our fuel cells are charged, you know, we zip to the next warp speed very quickly. And as soon as those fuel cells or the power cells are discharged, we have to pull the power from the reactors and from the batteries, and that's a lot slower. That's the difference between a battery and a power cell. The battery holds a lot more power, like millions, compared to just thousands that a fuel cell or that a power cell holds. But the power cell will release that power very quickly. Batteries will release it twice as fast as a reactor can generate it. So your batteries are very good for providing you more power for a short period of time till they're exhausted. But you can tell when the when the power cells get exhausted, because all of a sudden it takes longer for us to move up to that next warp speed. Okay, gravity is our friend there. Oh, we got another sensor mission here. Good. Oh, coming up on the. Actually, you know what? Let's go to the planet instead. Are we close enough to scout? 1.2 million miles. Come on, give me the scout one. I want the time. Okay, forget it. We're gonna be that way. Okay, I think we're in range for it. Yeah, there we go. We're oh, not bad. That was almost 20 grand. Plus we got some good vibes with Logicorp. And I think we completed it. So that's it. Let's head back out to the... I wish I knew why that planet was purple. Oh, I know. It's because that's the one we have selected on the holo table. That's interesting. I think that's the way they look in the... When I have something selected as the pilot, I think they're purple like that when you're in the turret. So that's interesting. That's an interesting piece of information. But I am definitely going to have to go and deselect that, or it will drive me up the wall. Okay, let's get back on course here. Yeah, I realize we're already in it, so we probably could just drop out right here, but I just want to go ahead and get all the way to this and start from this point. Alright. So let's fly... Yikes! Ooh, big asteroid. Let's not run into it. Let's fly along the belt this direction. Deselect. Did that deselect the other one? No, it didn't. Since there's a run and they aren't showing anything. Well, a little bit of nitrogen there. There's lots of ice asteroids this way, so let's go that way. And let's clear this. Where's the clear button on this? Reset, reset. Isn't there a clear button? Skrill. Okay. So that, in this setting, it's basically the same thing as we've got over here. Not sure if it's of any use in that particular mode, at least not at the moment. I would love to play this game with people and role play. I mean, actually role play being, you know, captain and crew. I just think that would be a lot of fun. There's our... But I understand it probably does not sound like fun to other people. Nitrogen. Where did I put our nitrogen? Right here. Okay, that's our partial one. Gotta remember that. Okay, let's see how we're doing. Okay, we've got our full pallet of oxygen. So let's say... let's look at our fuel situation first off. We've used a lot, so let's change this to hydrogen and then change the destination of the output to our fuel tanks. Oxygen, remove from the list. Hydrogen, add to the list. Okay. Let me come up here. This makes it so easy to fuel up the ship. I gotta tell you. We will change this to hydrogen, and we'll change the destination back. Come on, back. Factory, none. Back. What is going on here? Stop. Destination. There we go. Better. Engineering. Fuel tank. Fuel tank. Return. And actually, wait. Let's go back here. We don't necessarily need it to be full crates. Any crate that comes out of the refinery we want transferred. That was a real brain twister there. I kept cursing, trying to figure out why my relays weren't working right. And it took me forever to finally figure out that at the destination I had to select, you know, how big a stack it had to be for it to be transported, and, you know, what the maximum stack size was. Once I figured that out, you know, now it works just fine. So maybe what'll work better? This game? I don't know. You know, I wouldn't... Well, I guess, you know, I would think that graphically this game shouldn't be too big a deal, but you're right, it might take a lot of CPU, or a lot of CPU and a lot of RAM, especially in its current state. Okay. I just realized something here. There, that's all there. What do we got over here? We got silicon, copper, and silver over here. Okay. We got nothing in there. Okay, what did you do while I was away? Just iron. Okay. Junk for us to throw out. Hurry back, Core. Oh, good. That's going to be some fuel for us. That's the thing about all these machines. Boy, can they eat through the power on your ship. So you really got to make sure you got the fuel tankage to handle it, and be sure to, you know, keep an eye on it and refill it when you need to. We've got 2 of the medium fuel tanks that carry 25,000 each, which I find a lot more convenient than the others. The next size up is 2 wide. These are 3 wide. The next size, are they 2 wide? No, these are 2 wide. These are 2 wide. They're 2 wide, just like these, but they're also 2 deep and 2 high, and they only carry 75,000. So basically, they're the size of 4 of these, but only carry three times as much fuel. So they're really not worth it, because you've got this great big huge fuel tank you got to figure out what to do with, and it's not as efficient of use of space as just putting in 4 of these. So unless you've got a large space, you just, you know, well, hey, I've got a huge space, I might as well just use it up. It's really not an efficient use. Boy, it's really driving me nuts. I wonder if I can... Hang on here. Pardon looking at the floor here. I just want to see what's hogging up all the resources on the computer. CPU usage is hugely high. The game is taking up most of it, but what else is taking up CPU? Probably Windows doing something horrible in the background. Well, I mean, Windows is taking up a little bit, but mainly it's just the game and Streamlabs. Oh well. Nothing I can do about that. Let's do that backwards. I want the partial tank to be somewhere where I can reach it. Oh god, is it lagging badly? Let's see, is it there? Yeah. Yep. There. So this one remains our partial one on that. Yeah, the stutter will drive me to drink, I tell you. So we got plenty of oxygen. We're doing pretty good. We got two and about 2/3 crates of silicon. Windows erasing your... Yeah, did you hear about that update that was supposed to come out this month? That people were complaining was erasing data off their hard drive? It's like, what are you guys doing that you put out an operating system update that actually erases data off from people's computers? Why would you even be touching people's data? Why? Because it's Windows and they want to steal everything. As you can tell, I have very little respect for Microsoft. Don't like Microsoft. I have not liked Microsoft for a long, long time. In my eye, they are an illegal monopoly. Although Apple and Linux are doing a much better job these days of putting a dent in Microsoft's market share. But still, most, games and stuff are mostly written for Windows. Very little is written for Linux and Apple. You need to get developers to get off the stupid Windows bandwagon. Because I have no reason to get Windows. I have no reason to use Windows anymore. If I could run Linux, I would. I sure as heck would like to go back to Windows 7. Windows 10 really bites. Yeah, I'm nodding like you can see me. Yeah. I'm not in the least bit surprised that they weren't putting it through proper review cycle. Though I often wonder how much of a review cycle they put any of their stuff through. How are we doing on our silver and gold? Still in the 19 silver, but we're up to 32 gold. That was sort of my experience. That's sort of been my experience in this star system period. There's more gold than silver. That other one we've gone to, maybe that's why. You know what? I don't think earlier when I was on, I don't think I went to the star system. I think I went to one of those ones closer to HSC, closer to Vectron 6. Maybe that's why we're getting different a different haul of resources than I'm expecting. Oh, it's fine. We'll do it like that. Oh, there we go. More silvers. That's good enough for 2, almost now 3 cartridges. And we've got enough gold and silver upstairs and silicon to make 5. So this is future storage here. I would really like, we made that upgrade cartridge for the ship a while back. Maybe we should go ahead and spend the resources on trying again. I think in the last episode we, spent the resources and made an upgrade cartridge, and then it was junk. I was really, really disappointed with that. I think I just ended up spacing it. Come on, crate. I wonder what is the blue stuff? Let's see what we need for a combat upgrade. Nope, that was not what I wanted. Let's get away from the printer. I clicked on Device Manager. So what is the blue stuff? Oh, there it is. Is it this? Iridium or osmosium? Was it more green or blue? That's blue. So we need that osmosium or whatever it is for that. We could... I'm pretty sure we probably have some iridium... well, maybe we don't. Not on this playthrough, we probably don't. But iridium I've run into before. So, you know, that we should be able to get. I've never seen the osmosium. I think the one time I forayed into a... let's see what this gives us. The one time... oh, it increases extraction rate. Excellent. Excellent. My one foray into a Tier 2 system, I had things running out automatic, and I did pick up a little bit of aluminum, so we know that aluminum is in those systems. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Select it. Oh, there's no button to get information on the card, so it's going to increase... oh, it's decreasing the distance, but increasing the speed. Ugh. Well, let's go for it, because that's a 25% speed increase. That could, you know, be a serious bonus right there, just because we'll get more just because we're getting it faster. Not bad. We've got more than half a pallet. That's the word I was trying to think of earlier. Pallet. Cargo pallet. We've got more than half a pallet of zinc now. If we can get 2 pallets of zinc, that will make us... let's see... 1 pallet of zinc should make us a little over 1,000 brass. Because I think it's 4 zinc. 4 zinc to... no, I'm thinking of something else. I'm thinking of... I think it's just 2 zinc per brass. It's 4 brass per missile. Yeah, 2 zinc. So 2 pallets full will get us 1 full pallet of brass. Okay. We're not picking up anything. There's lots around here. I'm surprised we're not picking up stuff. Of course, you know, passing by it and passing within teleporter range are 2 different things. I think on my other playthrough, I have an upgrade cartridge that increases range. Increases range, but also increases the amount of power that the extractor pulls. So I really eat up the... when I have it running, I really eat up the fuel fast, but I pick up more stuff. I don't think I had it running this morning, though, when I was on there. Well, I'm not seeing anything. Alright, well, let's just keep it going in a straight line and... let our little automatic do-jobby do its job. Okay, we're back up to 41k in fuel, so that's good. We've got over half a pallet of nitrogen. Which sadly is only about a quarter pallet of nitrous oxide. That's not a lot. So basically, it takes 1 case of iron, a little bit less than 1 case of brass, and 2 cases of nitrous oxide in order to make 1 case of, actually I think a little over a case of missiles. I think it's 60 missiles is what it makes. Yeah, that would be right. 60 missiles from 600 iron and 1200 nitrous oxide. Some more. Yay. Okay. That's good. Come on, let me have that. Now, a great thing I can do is, like these heat sinks, when I was making these heat sinks, you know, I gathered up the copper, which shouldn't take long, because you don't really go through a lot of copper. I mean, 8 of the, or let's say 10 of those is only going to be 500 copper. That's not even a 1 case. But I got my copper, and then I just set this stuff up to gathering water and converting it to deuterium. And then just sat there and let it run, and as I got enough deuterium to make a heat sink, I'd make a heat sink, and you know, it took me a while to do it, but I got enough heat sinks to fill this one up, and the other ship too was the same way. I screwed up because I filled up the other ship. One important safety tip: if you're going to salvage your ship, because when you salvage your ship, you get all the resources back, all of them. You don't lose anything. But I discovered when you salvage a ship, it will salvage your heat sinks back to their component materials. Unlike other stuff that'll actually just put that stuff in your inventory, in your vault. So if you have these guys, rescue your heat sinks. Don't leave them in there. Before you salvage, I mean. Hello to everyone else who's watching. I see we got some other people watching besides my regulars. Nice to have you with us. Enjoying one of my favorite games, Interstellar Rift. Just doing a little resource gathering in a Tier 1 system. That's as far as Growler's gotten so far. That's because you don't play with me enough. Excuse me. Growler can be a little grouchy, you know, so... Once again, it's up to me to point out that it's not my fault. You can see I'm flying up as we go. I could actually point more straight up because I'm trying to get onto the plane of the ring, which I'm just thinking ought to be the densest part of the ring if we can get up to it. I think there's actually, like, you know, the way it's envisioned, there's like 2 layers. I'd like to get up in between them. Lots of stuff. Lots of asteroids out there. Did I just see one of them teleport away when we were... Is that one we just picked up or something? You know, I'm not thinking the speed is all that much worth it. We're just having a hard time picking stuff up. It's not really helping us going faster. Maybe we can use this in the future, but right now I don't think it's really worth the effort. We'll just turn it off. Come on, open my door. You like my little room behind the stairs there? I thought that was a pretty good use of space. Growler ain't no giant. Yeah. Growler's a dwarf. Always has been, always will be. Yeah, we're well aware of that. I don't think that Eek was referring to actual giants. Because, you know, dwarfs don't like giants much. I can't imagine why. Because they're too damn tall, that's why. Yeah, I did sort of figure that out. Oh, one thing I figured out, and I need to fix it on this design. On the other ship design, when I put these pallets in, first off, the order you put your pallet, when you design a ship, the order you put the pallets in is important. The first pallet, when you like pick up a cargo somewhere, the first pallets you put in are the ones that are going to get loaded with that cargo that you picked up for a mission. So you want to put in the first cargo pallets you want to put in are the ones you want to have the mission cargo placed on. And then on something like this where you have 2 rows of cargo pallets, turn the inside row, it's 90 degrees, so the display is on the side. You won't be able to go all the way back like I can here, but what you can do is you come in here and then you can walk down between them this way, which I find a lot more helpful than being able to go all the way back. It is a bit of a pain not being able to get all the way back to get the stuff in the back, but just takes a little bit more management. But it is so handy to be able to come in and be here putting stuff down and go, oh, I need to go 2 more rows down, whereas with this ship I have to go all the way out, then all the way down, and then I can go down this way. So another tip for all you fledgling ship designers. The further I get in the game, it's going to be interesting when I finally manage to get myself going in a tier 2 system. I do have a playthrough, or I did. No, that playthrough died, I think. The save got corrupted for some reason. I did have a playthrough where I'd reached tier 2, obviously, because I was, talking about being in a tier 2 system. But I've not gotten back to a tier 2 system, and because of my, one experience being there, I'm not really too sure what to do going to a tier 2 system, because there were just so many Skrill. I don't know what to do. Hopefully with some of the new weapons, some of the new tier 2 weapons, the flat cannon, for example, we'll have a little bit more luck. Oh, I started to say earlier, I made a ship for the multiplayer server, or an upgrade to one of my ships that has the fixed guns instead of the ones on gimbals that we have, which means that we'll actually have to point the ship at a target to shoot with it, but they're supposed to be more effective. So I don't know, we'll see. I haven't had a chance to take the ship out and try it yet. In terms of actual effectiveness, I think it sort of goes guns, then missiles, then lasers, which are a serious pain because you just... Some of these, they need to work on some of the stuff, because you can just spend your whole life mining resources just so you can make ammo for your combat ships, or for your mining ship so it can defend itself. That's one reason just to stick with the standard guns, because it's one thing, at least you can go and buy ammo. All the other stuff, it's hard to get and expensive, and you just spend your whole life just trying to gather the resources to make that ammo. I mean, maybe you just need to have a really big mining ship so you can mine a whole lot of stuff all at once. Oops. I should have let that teleport. There we go. Okay, we almost have a full what you call it, to this stuff here. Actually, you know what? Let's move all of these full ones to the back. There. Just need one more full one for back there. That's pretty good. Having one full pallet of nitrogen is pretty good. That pleases me. So we're definitely doing better here than we were doing at the other planet, at least in terms of getting nitrogen. We haven't got nearly as much zinc here so far. And I don't think we've hardly gotten any silicon. I was getting silicon like crazy on my outing yesterday. But we're not hardly getting any today. Or outing this morning, I should say. You were referring to the quantity of gas. Robert doesn't get it. Why am I not in the least bit surprised? I don't know if there's anything else we can do here that would be at all useful. I'm thinking this printing cartridge should work in here. Does it say if I go to the upgrade? Does it say what kind of cartridge? No, it just says no cartridge inserted. I could try putting the processor cartridge in there and see if it takes processor cartridges. But I'm thinking it makes more sense for it to take a printer cartridge. But that would allow us to automate that. But, you know, it takes so long for it to do anything. It's not really a big hassle just to keep coming back and starting it up again. Lag, glorious lag. Thank you, recording software, for causing so much lag. I don't really need any more of that stuff. I don't know how much I have in the vault, but I suspect it's a fair amount. Because every time we go out, it seems like we collect a heck of a lot of the stuff. And if I'm not making our own jump fuel, it's really unnecessary. And unfortunately, because, you know, it takes so much work just to get enough nitrous oxide, enough nitrogen, just to make our ammunition, I've sort of given up for the time being on making our own jump fuel. But as you can see from what I was saying, for the amount of time we've been out for, well, I guess we've been playing for an hour and a half already, haven't we? Wow, I did not realize we'd been playing so long. But we've done pretty good. I mean, look at all the resources. We have more than half a pallet of that stuff, a full pallet of oxygen, 3/4 of a pallet of zinc. We've got a full pallet of nitrogen. We've got a decent amount of gold and silver. Got more than we want of that stuff. And we've even got some carbon. Now, laser cells. I have a ship on my other server, on my other game, with lasers. And the lasers are sort of nice. They are quite effective. And their fire rate is lower, so you really don't go through quite as much ammo. I think, as you go through with the guns. But the two problems with it. One, it takes forever. The laser cells, you need nitrous oxide and carbon. And, you know, carbon, obviously you can see how much we've got. It takes a bit to get carbon, although at least it's easy to find. But you're taking up some of your valuable nitrogen, and you're using carbon. And, you go through this stuff fairly quick. But the real tough part is that if it's a multi-person ship, there are no laser turrets. They really need to add laser turrets. a station at a gas giant to make my own nitrogen. Yeah, at the moment, space stations are sort of useless. At least as far as I can tell. Because you've got to protect them, you know. And so any space station you put out here, now on a PvE server, you don't have to worry about protecting it when you're offline, you know, because the Skrill aren't going to be running when there's no players present. But when you're actually running, well, you've seen we've been attacked, what, 3 times? 2-3 times? You know, so in a space station you can't move, so you're just going to be constantly trying to defend that space station, and all you're going to be able to do is, I think this design somebody put up on the workshop, it has like a room on the very top of the station with a turret facing in each direction. So that's what you'd have to do. You'd have to have a room that's just a turret room, so that you can, you know, sit there and run between turrets to shoot at the enemy. And, you know, with the slow doors, that just sounds like just a terrible idea. So really, I don't think you can really build your own defensible space station until you get to the point where you're big enough that you can, and this is just for mining. Yeah, there are no automated turrets. You can get a defense drone, which, from what I've heard, the defense drones are weaker than the Skrill, the basic Skrill. So you're not going to want to go to a system that has anything bigger than basic Skrill, because your defense turrets are not going to be able to handle them at all. And you're going to go through a lot of them, and they are expensive to make. I was going to make some because it used to be they were cheap to make. Earlier in the alpha, they were cheaper to make. They were just like iron and copper or something like that. But now you have to make a whole string of basic resources, like drone weapons and drone this and drone that, and then you have to equip them with ammunition. And then, like I said, they're weak, you know, so you're going to end up losing a lot of them. And the bigger defense drones, like S3 has, those are tier 3, so you got to be to tier 3 before you can use them. And each one requires a big drone bay, so you're going to need a lot of room. Can I please target one of these guys? Targeting someone would be nice. Hello, game. Oh god, the game's all laggy. Look, there's a rift out there. There we go. Now we got somebody targeted. So when it lags like this, it's almost impossible to fight. Can you imagine, you know, fighting 20 Skrill like this? And ones that are tougher? Okay, we got him. So in some ways, I think anything, especially playing solo, anything above tier 1 is going to be really difficult. Until they get the game optimized. Now, as I understand it, from what I've read from other people who have experimented, the turrets do more damage than the guns we have. If we had turrets, if I had somebody with me in a turret, that turret would be, you know, using probably less ammo and doing more damage. Dang it, that was a waste of ammo. Fire a missile at him. Okay. He's gone. Where's this last one at? There he is. Whoa. So that's another bad thing with the lag. You try to turn to catch up with something and end up turning way too far because the controls were lagging. I wish I could use my flight stick with this. It would be fun if you could use your flight stick. But I tried using like my gamepad, my game controller. Oh, it's terrible. I thought maybe it would be easier to fly that way. No, it's worse. Forgot to empty that. Not a whole lot of anything in this group. Can I have that, please? All right, we'll leave that go. Let's just get rid of these. I don't care. I'll take the nitrous oxide upstairs. Got some more silver, yay. It's nice. 47 gold, 37 silver. Really nice. There have been several requests from that, but I haven't seen anything. Now, I'm not saying I've exhaustively read everything the developers have said. I haven't seen anything about them allowing NPC crew members ever. But I think, I'm thinking they're going to need to change their strategy on the game a little bit. Because I think all along they've been designing it, to be a big, massive multiplayer game like Ark. Where you have, 50 people online. And I think because there's so much to this game, all the player-made ships and all the asteroids and all the aliens and all of that, I don't think they can do it. I don't think anyone's CPU would be able to keep up with it. So I think they're going to, and of course they don't have as big a player base. There aren't as many fans of this game as there are of Ark. Period. So I think they really need to change their focus a little bit. And I'm not saying that they haven't already come up with this idea. I don't know. Like I said, I don't really know what their roadmap is. But I think they need to think more about solo and small groups and more PvE play for this game. It'd be with the missions we get, we could do so much fun stuff if those missions were just a little bit more in depth. It would be a lot more fun soloing. But yeah, definitely stuff like automated weapon systems or something to allow us to defend our ships a bit better when we're soloing, especially once you get over tier 1. At tier 1, I'm fine. I got no problem handling the Skrill. As long as I know when to leave, don't run myself out of ammunition and then end up in trouble. But as long as I don't make that mistake, I'm fine at tier 1. Tier 2, I don't know how I'm going to handle tier 2. I'm hoping upgrading weapons and armor, just having much more heavily armed and armored ships will get me through tier 2. But the combats are just going to be such a pain because it just looks like there's a lot more Skrill. So you're going to be fighting them more often and you're going to be fighting bigger groups. So I don't know how doing resource gathering, besides just, leaving everything on automatic and having enough, relays to handle everything and spending all your time in the cockpit just fighting. You're just going to run through so much ammunition. But yeah, I would love to see different things. I would love to see. One thing I heard them mention was a prop helm. In other words, a helm station like this that isn't part of a bridge module, so you can place it anywhere on the ship. And I hope that that was actually something they planned to put in the game and not just something they were mentioning in passing, because that would be great. I would love to be able to do my own bridge and just use one of the standard windows. Maybe they could just add in some more nice windows. Instead of having a base bridge like this, just do a helm and then just add in more different styles of windows that you can use. And that would be really nice. I would love to, that great big dome that we looked at. Can you imagine doing a big ship and putting the bridge in the middle of one of those great big domes? But let's see. Some of the other things I think would be really, really great for them to do would be like some of these stations. Well, the engineering station, it looks like the engineering station is designed for a chair, and if you take the captain's chair, which is an item you can place, it will snap right to this railing and just snap right here perfectly. I don't know if that's just because that's a position it snaps on the square or what, but it snaps in and looks great, but you can't sit in it. It's like they also have like a conference table that also makes a great dining table, but you can't sit in any of the chairs. But I would love to see like I would love to see a captain's chair that had two of these information screens. Just like they have, these, where they're like on a thing that normally looks like it's transparent, but like put one on the left arm and one on the right arm. So, if you've got a multiplayer ship, your captain actually has a couple of information screens that he can look up. And I would love to see a screen that has things like shield controls. So you can raise and lower your shields. Well, you can raise and lower your shields here, but so you can actually adjust the power on the shields. Some of the stuff I do want to put together in a suggestion a post and put it in the suggestions thread. I just haven't gotten around to doing it. But something like that. But I would love to see like that information station here, but an actual sit-down station. So, if you got a multiplayer ship, you actually have a crew position on your bridge where some of your other players could sit, and have an actual seated, a chair that works with this, so your engineer can sit here and work at the engineering screen. And I'd love to see, instead of two of each type of screen, I'd love to see just like this screen, just this, and, then maybe you could have, well, whatever, have like an information screen and mix it up, not just have two of each of these screens. I think these screens, the ones where you select a particular room, it's good to have two of them. So maybe have your left and right screens like that, and then have your center screen here, an information screen, and your top screen be this transfer screen here. This just allows you to move equipment between power groups. That's all that does. And like this ship, as you can see, has one power group. I think you need to get into a bigger ship before having multiple power groups. It's actually effective. Look at that. There's the crates we dumped out recently. I suppose we better actually start moving forward again if we want to actually collect any resources. Okay, where's the planet? There's the planet. Let's head towards the planet. Okay. But yeah, stuff like that, and I'm sure they're going to add more furniture. I just don't know what kind of furniture. I would love to see, more like ceiling things that'll make the ceiling a little bit more interesting instead of flat. I would love to see like some rounded walls and things. There's one angled wall you can put in. It's just like a prop you put in and angles the wall. I don't know if I have any on this ship. I don't think I do. But I would just love to see more things like that where you can round things out a little bit more and make things look a little bit more interesting. Fine. Did we fill this up entirely? We did. So we got one whole pallet of nitrogen. Alright. Cool. So, I suppose what I need to do before we play this again is I need to gather enough iron and copper and make steel so that we can build our small ship again to run missions with. Because this thing's just too big and expensive to run missions with. That's why I don't want to run missions with it. I want something that can fight real nicely. Maybe I'll design up a new ship and try out something with a bit more firepower on it. I don't know. I like both of my courier ships. The Sparrow is lighter, so it uses less fuel. But the Hornet has the big engines. The Hornet actually has the same engines this ship has. So it just has a tremendous amount of power. It is so fast and never runs short of energy. It always has tons of energy. So these great big huge engines that we have 2 of for this whole ship, the Hornet has 2 of these. So it has the same power on a ship less than half the size. Or about half the size. Alright. Oh, we're under attack. Okay. How many nasties do we have to deal with today? I don't even see him. There are 2 rifts that I'm picking up on sensors. There he is. They really need to work on making these icons, especially your icon for where you shoot. It's so hard to see sometimes. It's just like that, just sort of grayish. So sometimes it's just impossible to actually see. Okay, he's gone. Anybody else? All right, let's pick up this stuff and then let's go home. Yeah, I think before we play again, I need to get the resources together so we can do our rebuild our small ship, or maybe I'll have it rebuilt before we play again. And next time we'll actually go and run some missions. Yeah, I think if they just had more missions, because it seems like you can run a couple missions and then you sort of run out of missions you can do. And the urgent ones, in my opinion, are broken. Maybe with 2 people you can run the urgent ones, but here's what happens. So an urgent one, you get it, and it'll be like, you got 3 minutes to do this. So you grab the materials, or the materials are teleported to your ship, you run to your ship, you hop in your pilot's seat, you warp to the destination. You immediately, now even if you have a cargo teleporter, it's completely impossible without the cargo teleporter. But you arrive at the destination, you run back to your cargo pad, you grab the cargo, stick it on the cargo teleporter, teleport it. It gives you a second objective, no more time, but a second objective. And then so you run to the cockpit, jump to that second objective, arrive at the second objective, and the timer runs out. A Defiant. That's definitely what I need, is a Defiant. I'm wondering with the flak guns. If you haven't seen the flak guns yet, wait till we get some flak guns. Those are a tier 2 weapon. Those things are going to be completely amazing. It may kill us trying to get the resources to make the ammunition for them, but they are amazing. So it's completely impossible to do those urgent missions, and most of them, some of the systems, there'll be like 10 missions, and 8 of them are urgent deliveries. And maybe with 2 people you could do it, by having somebody in the pilot seat ready to go, so the guy grabs the mission, teleports in, and says go as soon as he's aboard, so the pilot can go, and immediately warp away, and then that person runs and sets the stuff on the cargo teleporter, and you arrive in range. As soon as you're in range, pilot goes, in range, teleport. The second person teleports, it says go, and pilot runs. And maybe then you could make that urgent mission. But man, I don't even know. It would be tough to do even with 2 players. 1 player, it's completely impossible. So it means you basically got 2 missions you could possibly run in any one particular at any one particular base. I need to set a destination, don't I? Do we have enough fuel? Yeah. So if they were to, add more missions and put more to them, like you know, HSC wants to, or yeah, let's say HSC wants to hire you to deliver resources to 3 of its mining bases. So, you know, you get a bigger reward, but you pick up your cargo and you jump to 3 different bases. Or maybe, you know, just anything that, you know, makes the missions a little bit more interesting, a little bit more complex, and just make more of them. So there are missions, always missions available if you want to just sit and run missions, you know. So you could just sit and run missions for hours if that's all you wanted to do. I just think that would be, you know, a great idea. That would, you know, be a relatively easy way to add some good content. Because just adding the number of missions, you know, is not going to take any effort on their part. But it would definitely make things a lot easier on solo players and PvE players. But yeah, I still love this game. Wish I knew more people interested in it. I think if you got a fleet, I think the key is the fleet. You know, so everybody owns their own ship. And then when you want to go out and do like a tier 2 system or a tier 3 system, then you team up and work together and then split the goods you get out of that mission. So, you know, everybody has their own objectives, just like, you know, playing Ark. So everybody has their own thing that they want, and you have to work together to get it. Which I love. I love co-op games. I'm not big on PvP. You know, I don't like PvP that much. I enjoy World of Tanks and World of Warships. But PvP is not my favorite thing. Those are the sort of PvP games I like. The first-person shooter games and stuff, I don't like those. Now, if this had more of a Dreadnought type combat, which I would love a game that had that. But if this had more Dreadnought type combat where, you know, it's slow and you have to actually strategically plan maneuvering ahead of time, you know, and plan what weapons you're going to use and really manage your power, that would be a lot of fun for me. I would love PvP in that case. That would be fun. But just the fast-paced shoot-'em-up stuff, you know, my reflexes are not that good anymore, and that just stuff just doesn't appeal to me. Maybe you probably would have when I was in my 20s, but it's certainly not anymore. All right. Well, I think that's about it for today. I'm going to take us back and just park the ship for now. And then next time I get on this save, I'll process all the stuff we gathered and get the materials we need for our next stream. But you know, that's not terribly interesting stuff. We're not going to do that on stream. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed playing it. It's actually, you know, I was hesitant to do this today, but I had fun doing this, even though it was just resource gathering. I hope it was at least sort of informational for you guys. Maybe the fights were a little bit more exciting. But yeah, I hope you guys have been having a good day. I hope you guys had a great weekend. And I hope you have a great evening. And I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Have a good day, everyone.